Hey.
told. So
Yeah.
it doesn't happen here.
All right.
The only question is when does it happen tonight?
What's
If
going
at
on?
all.
Say that again. The 3264.
Everyday heroes. Look at your top players.
Here, give me 30 seconds. I'll call you right back.
There's a ton of players that
Said do their deal or no. Said it's got something better. Come on.
Nobody wants to trade down.
Well,
Acting like they have better
everyone's
trades,
saying
but
they are trading down, but
they
nobody
pick.
is trading down. I don't know what to tell you, Jeffrey. I'm trying.
I know.
I'm trying. I'm trying. And I'm trying.
And there you have it, man. Y'all saw it for yourselves. These organizations in the NFL, they're not afraid of the Philadelphia Eagles. You can't make this up, man. You saw Howie Roseman trying to trade up with the LA Chargers, and they was not going for it, man. We tried to trade with the Rams, we tried to trade with the Packers, we even tried to trade with the Ops, Washington, and they was not having it. But God works in mysterious ways. We still ended up getting Jahad Campbell, man. But hey, let's talk about it, man. Hey, they can't do nothing but try to stop the Philadelphia Eagles. They can't. They gotta be in cahoots together in order to try to stop this dynasty that's about to happen. But it's just more motivation, man. When it comes to our Eagles, man. But I want to talk about some of these draft picks. I didn't give an official grade. I didn't make a video for it. So let's start off with the Jahad Campbell pick. The 31st pick in the first round. I gotta give us an A grade with that because even though he wasn't the guy that was on my board that I wanted, but for that pick and for that player and that pick, that's great value, man. So I gotta give us an A grade with that pick, because he just fits our scheme and what we wanted to do. It just in this draft, he just wasn't on my board. Like I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know much about him. So, but we gotta trust Howie Roseman and trust Vic Fangio. So I'm gonna get a Jahad Campbell pick at A. Now let's move on to Andrew Makuba. He was ranked the third best safety in his board on the draft. This is definitely a solid pick, and we definitely got value, and we definitely got a player in return at this pick, man. Our second round pick, Andrew Makuba. But like I said again, I've seen a couple of his games the season that passed, but to me, what I would have did, I probably would have went with Xavier Watts or try to get the South Carolina safety from South Carolina. But like I said, it was definitely a good pick, but it just wasn't a guy that I wanted us to draft. But that's not saying that it was a bad pick or anything, but that just wasn't the guy I wanted us to draft. But we definitely hit on that draft. But I'm gonna give it a B plus just because it wasn't a person that I wanted. But we definitely getting value at that pick. I definitely feel like he's a great tackler. He definitely can cover as well. He's still growing on me as well because I've been watching a lot of his film since the draft. But we definitely hit on that pick. But I gotta give it a B plus because simple fact, Xavier Watts is still on the board. I think at the time too, we had a chance to get Donovan Ezraku as well, but that was before the Cowboys picked him up. But I still feel like it was a good pick, man. So I'm gonna give us a B plus. Here I want to say my least favorite pick that I didn't like in the draft. I'm gonna talk about the corner we drafted, Mac McWilliams. I did not like that pick. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. I want to be wrong, because I don't want none of our players to be bad, but I just feel like there was a reach, man. There was a lot of other corners that was better than him on the board, and there was a lot of more talent that was on the board that we could have went instead of going into that direction. But I don't see an outside corner. I see more of a slot corner, and who I could be wrong, bro, and I will admit it. If I'm wrong about a player, I will admit it. Because I was wrong about Nakobe Dean and Nolan Smith. I said that they was trash, and I eat my words for that. And I made it up, and I said that I apologize as soon as they proved me wrong. But I just feel like we reached with the Mac McWilliams pick. So I'm gonna give that pick a C plus. Now let's move on to my favorite pick of the draft that we picked. The Ty Robinson pick, the defensive tackle out of Nebraska. I feel like that was my favorite pick of the draft. He was definitely one of the guys on my board in this draft. You know, he's definitely versatile. He got pass rushing capability. You know, he's strong. He's athletic. You know, I just feel like we got great value for where we was able to pick him up. I feel like he was more of a third-round pick, in my opinion. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? But just me looking at it, I think like he could have easily went in late third round or early third round. But, you know, this definitely was the steal of this draft. You know, us getting Ty Robinson, man. But, hey, man, overall, I'm going to give the Philadelphia Eagles draft a B+. You know, I could talk about the other picks, but I really ain't too concerned about those. I'll just really be main concerned about the first 3 or 4 picks. So, in my opinion, I feel like we got a B+ grade. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Do y'all feel like we had a better grade than what I gave them? You know, I'm not mad if you feel like we did better, which is cool, but I just feel like I had to name I had to talk about the picks that was the main attraction of the draft, and I feel like we did a B+, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, it still was just a draft of depth. You know, it was a lot of talent that we could have got, but you know, we gotta trust the front office and we gotta trust Howie Roseman. We definitely gotta trust the defensive coaches on this staff as well. But y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Fly Eagles fly.